Happy Wednesday. We are back again with another exciting podcast. My name is Angel. I am here with CEO and founder of AngelAi, Pavan Agarwal. And Pavan, who's joining us today?
Coach Anthony out of Chicago, and one of the greatest minds in sales and retail loan origination. And Coach Anthony was referred to us just an incredible leader, incredible thought leader, visionary. And I was like, how can I not have Coach Anthony on our podcast? How could I keep him away from you all? That was basically my mindset. It's like, I feel so lucky. And I think you all are extremely lucky to get this opportunity to speak with Coach Anthony. And don't forget, we are live. So post your questions on the chat, engage. This is an opportunity to ask questions and we will respond. Okay. And most important, if you love me, if you love Angel, I know everyone loves Angel a lot more than me, but definitely if you love Coach Anthony, hit that like and subscribe button and really blow this up. Let's get a lot of people watching this, because what wisdom Coach Anthony is about to impart upon you today is priceless. So let's hear from Coach Anthony. Tell us a little bit, Coach, about your background, how you started, and how you develop into this incredible leader that you are today.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Wow, I've been in residential mortgage lending since 2003, so I am just past my 20th year. And what a fun industry, man. Lots of up and downs. But I think what I've learned through the environments and kind of market shifts that we're in today is you better continue to innovate and grow. Otherwise, you're going to get stagnant and potentially fall behind. So something that really kind of drove my business to where I've gotten it today is really just always looking for the best route to success. And what I have found through that process in the mortgage space is a lot of trial and error. But once I started to get my hands around leveraging people and knowledge like mortgage coaching, I was able to amplify my business pretty quickly, to the point where in roughly 2018, I was doing about 50 million a year. I was working 6 days a week, to then getting upwards of just shy of 100 million in 2020, to where I am still today, north of 40 million, and only working a couple hours a week with the right type of technology, the right type of systems, innovation, and process. So over the years, I have always fine-tuned my approach to growing my business, making it more simplified, cleaning it up, keeping smart systems, smart deals, smart referral sources in my business. And I've been able to really just compress the amount of work it takes to do the same amount of volume. So just getting smarter and smarter along those ways. So I'm active in the trenches, writing loans right now. I'll end up north of 40 mil this year. And again, I'm only working a couple hours a day on my mortgage business. So if you're working more than a couple hours a day on your mortgage business and you're less than 40 mil, it could be systems, operations, mindset. It could be the way you're approaching your business. And that's what we're here to do, is really get you dialed in and help you so that we can help you scale your business and have it become more meaningful, not only financially, but also for feeding your soul and your energy and keeping yourself motivated to scale and grow. So thank you for welcoming me today. And that's my intro. Appreciate you.
Okay. So I know, everyone who's achieved success like you have has had their shares of ups and downs in life. So as a coach, I mean, how do you tell a loan originator, especially right now, a lot of loan originators are struggling today. How do you tell them to keep their head back in the game and stay motivated? What's your best advice?
Great question. A lot of us monetize our success based on our fundings. We're so hyper focused on closing deals and getting commission checks in order to feel successful. And really what that can do for your business long-term is it can develop the wrong type of approach to growing relationships. When you're monetizing yourself and you're monetizing the relationships that you're chasing, like chasing a real estate agent simply because you think they can give you 5 to 10 deals a year, what that does is it doesn't have your mind focused in the right type of direction as to what you should be monetizing your success on. When we leverage our mindset and we look for success in building the right type of meaningful business partners, and we focus on those business partners in meaningful new relationships as that being the measuring stick of your success, then we grow quicker with better results on the back end because we're building meaningful relationships. And what happens within those meaningful relationships, because they're not monetized or chasing a real estate agent, as an example, because they're good for 5 to 10 or whatever deals a year, if we're chasing relationships and we're helping each other grow our businesses, then there's way, way less overhead and way, way less micromanaging that comes with that handoff on that client when they come in the door. And we always say that we tend to hang out with people that are kind of like ourselves. Well, the same thing happens with the business that you're building. If you're building meaningful relationships with meaningful people, those referral deals that come in the door are usually much, much less maintenance. So low maintenance clients, educated, ready to go. Because again, you're building relationships with people that have the right mindset, the right energy. So that's one of the ways that we really focus on keeping our head in the game, is making a shift from monetizing yourself from funding and closings to monetizing your growth based on how many meaningful people are you putting into your business as a referral partner. And then the deals just tend to come.
That's amazing advice. And I think a lot of loan officers really have to rethink their priorities, because you're absolutely right. I mean, it is all about, the people that you surround yourself with, and if you can add value to them and create this sort of symbiotic relationship with them, then and not do that high pressure sale and not do that constant give me a loan, give me a loan, right? Let it just happen. Let the universe come to you. And I think if people just relax a little bit, and yes, I know it's stressful. Yeah, you got to make the car payments and mortgage payments and all these other things going on. And here we are. This is going to be supposed to be a really cold winter this year, and all this other stuff happening. And obviously, when there's a cold winter, especially in Chicago, I know how cold is it there right now?
In Arizona, I think it's probably just shy of 80 degrees and sunny. It's perfect. I used to live in Chicago, though. So
okay. Got it. I thought you were in Chicago right now. So Arizona is different. Forget it. There's no winter in Arizona.
No, I bounce back and forth. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? You're absolutely right about that. I kind of want to dig in a little bit on that. Here's what happens. When we become desperate about our business, we grab onto anybody that's willing to give us a deal. And typically, if you're only focusing on real estate agents right now, if I'm a real estate agent, it's going to be really tough for me to try a new loan officer when I myself as a real estate agent, I'm not making enough money. So like my real estate partners and I, we're even closer today than we've ever been because they can't trust a new relationship to try and do a potential deal when their commission's on the line because they're also struggling, right? So if you let negativity seep into your mind, then you're hungry for a deal and you'll chase anybody to get that deal. And typically what happens there is you start to build relationships with the wrong type of people. So you got to keep a good head on your shoulders and you got to think positively in the right direction and look for the right type of relationships, the right way with the right recipes and the right successes so that you're continuing to build a business based on relationships, right?
Yes. And so one of really smart things I heard recently from another leader in the business. He asked the question, why do we spend our time prospecting? Why do we spend our time getting new clients? And the answer is obviously the immediate answer is so we can make more money, so you get more deals. But the right answer, and I love this, the right answer is so that you can say no, right? So that you have the freedom to say no and work with the clients that you want to work with, that have the right mindset, that have the right ethics and quality that you expect, so that you're not getting pushed in a corner. So if you are completely dependent on one or two clients, then you can get pushed in a corner. You want to be able to continue to prospect and grow and build more relationships so that you can do business the way you want to do it and stick to your values and your formula.
Yeah, and I can add to that. I mean, when you start taking every deal in the door, there's a reason why you're tied to your desk. There's a reason why you can't get out and prospect. It's because the lead sucks or the deal sucks. You took it because you were desperate for a deal. And what you do is you end up having to restructure that deal or work another 4 to 8 hours on it. And you keep getting pulled back into the problems on the deal because they didn't fully qualify up the front, or you didn't have your own type of gauging mechanism, whether you even want that deal or not. And what ends up happening is it steals all your energy. And you get robbed of wanting to go out and continue to build relationships because you're fatigued on that deal and you're sick of working on it, always to the point where the commission wasn't even worth that one deal. You got to learn from those situations. And if you just keep letting them come in the door, you're not going to have the energy to go out and build relationships. And if you do, you're going to have a chip on your shoulder and you're going to bring that negativity into that phone call or that meeting with you. And you're just going to be putting off that bad energy or that bad vibe, right? It's real.
Okay, so I'm going to right now try to pull out some more amazing secrets from you for our audience, free for our audience. So give our audience the top 2 or 3 things to do to cement a relationship with a new realtor.
Absolutely. The first thing is you've got to have a clear indication of your authentic self. If you don't know enough about yourself, which is very common with people in sales, especially loan officers, we're out there trying to entertain everybody we meet. We want everybody to like us. And what happens is you start wearing that mask and you're not yourself, and you can't really build relationships with people. So you end up being this multi-mask wearing salesperson. So when you really dig deep and look in the mirror and remind yourself who you are, where'd you come from, what's your story, that then needs to become the authentic self that you put out into the forefront of your relationship building. And then what you need to be doing with the amount of attempts that you're making to meet people is you've got to be making a decision. Do I want this person in my life? And if you're in the right environments, in the right space, and you're doing it over and over and over, it's a numbers game from the aspect of interviewing other people, whether you even want to do business with them or not. And when you're extremely selective and you do it over and over and over, day over day, week over week, year over year, eventually it starts to become less important as to the type of person you're getting business from, real estate agent, financial advisor, whoever. And it becomes more about the type of person that's giving you business or allowing to do business with you.
Yeah, I think there's 2 key points you said there. Is number 1, have the mindset that you're interviewing the customer. Customer's not interviewing 100%. You. As that puts you in the driver's seat. And second, the only way, again, this is my editorial on that. The only way you can ever get into that spot is that if you are prospecting enough, if you're talking to enough people where you actually can select, right? And
that's exactly right.
And then the other thing is I like what you said about being your authentic self, and that again comes back from having the freedom of enough prospecting, so that you don't have to worry about about trying to be a chameleon to appease everyone, because then you have enough flow coming in so that your authentic self is all that it takes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to build a relationship with a referral source that's going to use you for the rest of their career, if you're acting like someone else, you've got to be that chameleon for the rest of your career. That's exhausting. You need to be chameleons with your clients. If you're talking to an elderly client, you got to act that role. If you're talking to a young, new, fresh, brand new buyer, you got to act that role. That's what the sales chameleon is. But when you're talking about relationships and people that are giving you business, if you are not your authentic self, you'll get burnt out. You won't want to be in this industry, and you're going to get exhausted. In 2018, I had north of 250 real estate agents giving me business every year. I could count on those agents to give me one deal. And if you look me up, I was voted Chicago Agent Magazine's top real estate agent choice loan officer in 2018. And I hated my life. I was doing 50 million, making great money. And I hated when my phone rang. People would call me at dinner time. They'd call me when I was bathing my kids, feeding my kids bottles, Sundays at 5:30. Like, what do you think I'm doing on Sunday at 5:30? I'm having dinner, right? I was trying to figure out why these agents were being disrespectful of my time. And I realized that it was my own fault. You know, it wasn't their fault. It was my fault for letting these people into my life. And once I made that change, and I only allowed the right type of people into my business that were like my authentic self, I kind of got rid of the fake friends that we used to remember in high school. And I only worked with the real people that I could be my authentic, core, goofy self. And then my business took off, and it was extremely less stressful. And the deals just kept coming in. And my whole business model changed from, I got to be a productive loan officer, all the way to, hey, I just got to go hang out with people that I love hanging out with. That's my job, chasing people that I want to hang out with.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's what every loan officer wants to be.
And to be honest, it's nobody else's fault but your own. You know, you can't rely on other people to do things for you, but you got to have these aha moments. You've got to analyze your career. You've got to analyze your relationships, and you got to look at it and ask yourself, is it the industry or is it your choice? Most times it's your choice. It's a mindset.
That's amazing. So I'm going to try to pull out one more amazing piece of information out of you, see if you're willing to share.
Sure.
So how do you open up a door to a new agent that you've never worked with before?
Great. I love that question. I'm going to answer that twofold. Okay. 70% of real estate agents are not going to renew their license this year. Okay. That means 70% of your sales activity are guaranteed to fail. You should not be chasing real estate agents right now. They don't have the business, and there's not enough fear of missing out from a home buyer or a brand new home buyer to be the reason why they have to buy. If you're in your 50s and you've got you're in your 50s or 60s, you've got a brand new college graduate kid living in your basement, are you going to twist their arm and go make them be a homeowner right now? No. But if you have a wide traveled road and you're building your business in different segments, like your sphere, past clients, real estate agents, financial advisors, lead gen through AngelAi, corporate accounts, non-for-profits, and then events and segments. Financial advisors right now are extremely busy. And what's happening in that space is I've done more second homes in the last 18 months than I've done in my entire career, consolidated in the last 18 months, because elderly people are looking to retire right now. And they don't call their real estate agent when they're about to retire and pay cash for a home. They call their financial advisors. So if you're chasing real estate agents right now, you're going to lose a lot of wind in your sales because you're going to become fatigued and exhausted. But if you really want to open up the door with real estate agents, you've got to get out there and you've got to go to the places that they're at, whether that's broker tours, open houses, real estate agent events. investment type communities. And in fact, right now, you might actually get better referrals from commercial real estate agents for residential deals, because commercial real estate agents are very professional and they don't tend to like to hand certain deals off to other real estate or residential real estate agents. But if you've got a good bond with commercial real estate agents, they're going to call you with a handoff. You should be able to get that person pre-approved, and then you can take that back to your real estate agent. However, to answer your question, it's a numbers game. You have to get yourself in front of as many darn real estate agents as you possibly can. And what I love about real estate agents is they wear their heart on their sleeve. So you're going to know within less than 3 seconds whether that person even cares about you or not. It's like when you walk into an open house and you look around a little bit, and maybe you have one piece of content in your hand that you want to give away. And maybe you try to have 10 things, 10 folders that you give away to real estate agents. And your goal is to get rid of those 10 folders. You need to walk into that broker open house, walk around a little bit. And when that agent starts talking to you with a smile on their face, and then they ask you what you do, and you tell them you're a loan officer, if they get standoffish and they don't want to talk to you, don't give them that folder and walk out. But if they're like, oh man, it's been rough, how's your business? If they start to open up and you can see yourself building a relationship with that person, then grab onto it and hone onto it. I would go back and forth from Arizona to Chicago. I'd land in Arizona. On a Sunday, I'd go to an office, I'd print off 10 folders, and I would go visit open houses all day Sunday. And my goal was to get rid of those 10 folders to only people that had the respect for even knowing that I was a loan officer. And if they didn't have the respect for me, I wouldn't even let them finish talking. I would just leave. I didn't care. I was looking for relationships. And I'm not going to sit around and waste my time trying to appease somebody that doesn't have the respect for me. It's a numbers game. So I was on the hunt to find agents that were like-minded, that had same commonalities as me. And I would bring my authentic self to the forefront. I'm looking for friends, right? So I would visit, some days I'd go to 12 to 15 open houses and get rid of all those folders. There'd be weekends where I'd go out, I'd hit 20 open houses and get rid of 2 folders. So I'm on the hunt to look for friends that are also real estate agents. So that's the best way to scale that business quickly. But if you think about it, you only need 10 real estate agents giving you about 4 deals a year to have 40 transactions. That's it. And that's in one segment. So if you can get 12 deals from your sphere, 12 deals from your past clients, you get 24 deals from real estate agents, 12 deals from financial advisors, you get 12 deals from lead gen, 12 deals from non-for-profit, and then 12 deals from doing events with all of these people consolidated. That's north of 100 units a year. You're already in the top 1% as a national loan originator. If your average loan amount's 400,000, you're north of 40 million. So you have to spread your business out, and you've got to look for deals in different doors. And what's good about that is when the market shifts, you'll naturally start getting busy in one of those other segments. If you're good at one thing, like chasing real estate agents, you're not making money right now. But if you're good at a couple things and you're good enough to get enough business out of each of those segments, you're busy. It doesn't matter what's going on with the market, because there are still people doing deals right now. There are still units funding. There's still money to be made. So you got to have a business model, and that really is the trick of being successful.
Now, that's some of the best loan officer coaching advice I've ever heard. I've been doing this a long time. So how does someone get a hold of you and say, I want more of Coach Anthony? Teach me more.
Easy. The best way is through Instagram at National Mortgage Coach. So at National Mortgage Coach. You can go to my website, Coach MTG. But if I were you, I would follow me on Instagram. I'm on YouTube, but I would just reach out and raise your hand. And the best investment that I've ever made in my life was investing in myself, because if I spent a dollar on myself, I made sure that I made that back. So the best place for you to really put your energy and time and money is not necessarily in podcasts and shiny object syndromes and marketing and lead gen and that. Put it in yourself. Figure out how you can make yourself a better person, stronger mindset, a smarter brand so you can stand out from your competition, and get a business model. If you wake up every day and you don't know what you're doing, or you wake up every day and you plan that day, you don't have a business model. You will fail. You're destined to fail. You'll get busy again with deals. It'll blind you to your inefficiencies in your business. And that's what happens. This business has such high highs and such low lows that when the high highs are there, we forget about the problems in our business. And you got to be paying attention at all times.
Okay, so let's say I'm a loan officer and I say, Coach Anthony, sign me up. So what does a typical program look like? How much time do I have to spend on the coaching process?
It's a great question. First of all, I interview every single student that comes into my course. So if you don't fit the mold, you're not getting invited, unfortunately, because I want to find people that want to grow their business and be successful. That's the first gauntlet that you need to get through. Second to that, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to fully integrate everything from really tooling your mindset and repositioning what you consider to be monetization on your growth into branding. Where the rubber really meets the road is like the guidelines that come with all the loans that we lend. Nobody's really written the guidelines for our business. So we personally, you and I, develop your own personal business guidelines, just like the loans you lend to your business. And once we get that done and structured, then I teach you how to hunt. So I teach you where to find referral sources, what type of conversations you need to have with them, the tools to gauge that long-term success or stress that could come with that relationship. But we get into key performance indicators. We monitor where our business comes from and how many conversations we need to have with certain referral types in order to get a deal in the door and funded so we can quickly scale or delete that person out of our business. So 6 to 8 weeks to fully integrate, but I coach people once they come in, I'm accessible for the rest of their career. So we build a partnership for life, and there's also a community that you have access to with all the other loan officers that are going through the coaching at the same time. And the biggest value add there is beta testing these crazy ideas that may or may not work and really coming to a quick solution. So we're always integrating really cool systems and ways to scale our business. I'll give you one little piece. We're using virtual assistants to set appointments for us with financial advisors. And we're training the virtual assistants to have the right type of conversations in order to get deals on or bookings on a calendar. In conjunction with that, we're using artificial intelligence to set up conversations with people in LinkedIn to do the same thing. So we have A and B testing going on the same segment, which is financial advisors, to see where we can find our fastest success, not to get meetings, to get deals in the door with the right type of relationships. So we don't just stop at the meeting where a lot of us loan officers stop. Oh, I had 5 good meetings this week. Good. What are you going to do now? How do you get that deal to fund? How do you get that relationship to need you so that that relationship can make more money? And that's what we're working on right now.
So what are the tools that you use to control LinkedIn and Instagram and so forth?
Well, right now we use Copilot, if you've heard of that. That's a really good product. But before you can jump in and really start to leverage some of that technology, you've got to do it yourself, right? You've got to kind of fine tune the conversations. And that's where I spend a lot of my time, is fine tuning it to then automate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you just start throwing stuff on LinkedIn without a plan, without a brand and a strategy, you're going to burn people and they're going to put you on block. You can cause more damage than good if you don't do it right.
No, you do. You definitely need to. You got to have the basics down first before you can. That's called scaling, right?
Yeah.
That's when you've like, think about McDonald's as, this is a perfect example. Okay, McDonald's didn't start as this huge national chain with advertisements in Times Square. They started locally. And the reason why they needed to try other creative ideas is because they maximized their marketplace. Everybody knew who they were. So they had to open up more shops or scale or grow and then get into marketing and messaging and branding and all those things that come later down the line. But if you haven't perfected the baseline of your business, then you got to be very careful with kind of burning your time and energy in other places, like you said.
Yeah, sounds great. So we're coming up to the hour here soon. What are the best takeaways that you can give a loan officer? Like right now, I'm watching this as it's in the afternoon, almost 2:00. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning. What do I got to do tomorrow morning?
Yeah. Well, if you're not taking care of your personal self, then you're not interested in growing your business. So it really starts with getting a schedule around yourself. I think personal fitness or some type of personal activity early before work allows you to get your mind in check quickly, and you're really ready to go well before anybody else. So I would work on your personal self and have a plan, and then you need to map out your entire week. And really, your week should just be on rinse and repeat. So within your week, you should have theme days. And within those theme days, you should have really strict time blocking. And here's a great example. Let's say you get a call from a processor and underwriter about a challenge on your mortgage. If you stop what you're doing and work on that deal then, or even later in that day, your business model is going to break. What you should be doing is asking what the problem is with that loan file, looking 2 to 3 days down the week to find 30 days to go fix your file. Because what's going to happen if you wait 2 days to book the time to go back into your loan operating system Encompass and retool the deal, your mind's working on that file while you're still on your business track. Then when that 30 minutes comes up to go fix that deal, you've had 2 days to think about it. Then you can go in and quickly fix it. You could raise the loan amount, introduce single premium mortgage insurance, and then pay off a bunch of debt and buy discount points to get your DTI in line to get that deal back in and done. But if you just stop what you're doing and jump in the deal, you're frustrated, confused, your mind's not clear, and you start working on that deal, you're going to miss something and you're going to create bigger problems for that file. So it's going to go in and come right back out. Give it a couple days. Let everybody walk away from it. You, your processor, everybody. And if it's really confusing, get your processor back on the phone a couple days later and say, hey, I've been thinking about this deal. This is what I think I might do with it. What do you think? And they'll give you feedback. You'll find that if you time block out the corrections on those loan files, you will get a ton of time back in your day. I never jump back into files when they're problematic. I always give myself a minimum of 2 days. And I swear every time it's either while I'm laying in bed or right after I wake up that I have this aha moment of a completely different way to fix that deal than I would have the first day I learned about the problem.
That is like incredible advice. I think it's not just about loan officers, any professionals or anybody facing a problem. Right? Basically, what you just said is take a deep breath, slow down, don't react, take a deep breath, relax, and then get back to it when you've had time to think about things calmly and address it properly.
Yeah, and time block it, right?
Yeah. I mean,
that's what we're paid to do. We're not paid to get perfect deals every time. We're paid to keep a level head and fix people's problems and get deals back done. But I'll tell you what, if you let some toxicity on a deal, like the way a client lives his life or the way he didn't disclose his income right, if that determines the energy that surrounds your week, dude, your client, that means that you're reacting like a real estate agent, right? The deal starts going sour and you're like, you're a terrible lender. And you're like, no, actually, I'm a good lender. I'm just dealing with a bad problem. If you react that way too, if you stop doing what you're doing and you go work on that deal, you're just as reactive. You got to take the time to be constructive and organized. And that's one of the best ways to reduce the amount of stress that comes in any business, dealing with your work, dealing with kids, doing anything. Yeah.
Phenomenal advice.
Anthony, you mentioned time blocking, and I'm a huge fan. I think it's amazing for productivity. For those audience members out there that are not sure what time blocking is, can you high level describe it really quick?
So if you just Google search time blocking sheets, you're going to find some pretty basic ones that will help you put your foot in the right direction. So essentially what time blocking is the first segment of that is, what do I want to accomplish today? And you write down those specific tasks, and it's only 2 to 3 things, right? So let's say your theme day is chasing financial advisors. Okay. What do you want to do today? I want to chase financial advisors. I want to tell them stories about how to get deals done or how to help them create more assets under management. And I want to make sure I talk to 10 people. So once you have your 3 topics, then on the left side of your calendar, which is basically your time, you brain dump and you write down all the creative things that you think you can do in order to be successful that day. And don't take longer than 5 to 10 minutes. Just get it out. And then what you do from there is you assign those concepts into time slots throughout the day. So on my time blocking, it's going to say check your emails. It's not going to say check your emails and react and get stuck on a deal or a brand new file. If I have a brand new file in my email or I have a problem on a file, I'm time blocking it the next day or 2 or 3 days out. I'll go carve out 30 minutes to an hour down the week, so it's time blocked. And then within that day, I'm assigning time to finish those tasks. So if I give myself 30 minutes on something and I don't get that done, I'm done working on that for the day. It will not interrupt my day. I will then put an X on the calendar the next day so that I'm blocking out enough time to take care of that task. So when I'm time blocking, what you're basically doing is you're setting aside a fair amount of time to accomplish a task. And if you get it done early, move on. And if it takes you longer, do not continue to work on it. When you look at my calendar, you see my calendar at 4:40 in the morning all the way to 8:30 at night, which is when I wake up and when I go to bed every single day, Saturday, Sunday. I rarely stay up. Maybe once a week. I go out maybe once a quarter just because I don't want to keep running myself down. But I am time blocked out on every single thing, even lunch. I have workout in there. I have journaling. I have lunch. I have picked my kids up. So if you open up Outlook and you look at your calendar and you barely have anything on there, you got to start organizing your day within your calendar and live in your calendar. And I've always heard that concept of like, I live in my calendar. I was like, that's crazy. How do you do that? I'm in my email. I'm going to meetings. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Until I was getting so busy that I had to time block because I was running out of time in the day. So that's just an example of time blocking, and just Google search time block sheet. But we get really inundated in that process and into our loan officers' lives, and we focus on making a transition out of our email into living in our calendar, all the way through booking your lunch. I literally have slots on my week for personal time, like no meetings, like every single Monday repetitively. From 8 o'clock until 2, it's no meetings Monday. I never let meetings get in my calendar because I got to clean out my emails from the weekend. And that takes a couple hours.
And so if someone wants to get a hold of you, they would just DM you from Instagram?
Yeah, just message me. You can open up conversation. You can just text Sun West and I'll dive in and start working.
And of course, make sure you hit that follow button. He's giving away genius advice here.
Yeah, there's some pretty rich content in there.
But
what's a good one is if you go to YouTube, which is the same thing, National Mortgage Coach, there's about a 22-minute video on my bulletproof pre-approval process. And I guarantee you the majority of you, and I'm talking 90% of you, are not taking your pre-approvals the way that video is done. And that will change your career forever. It'll make it extremely less stressful. Your clients will rarely ever shop you on interest rate. It's a really smart approach to educating buyers, no matter their age, and keeping that process very educated and simple for them.
So National Mortgage Coach
at
I'm looking
YouTube.
it up right now. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch this thing.
I've been doing that for that pre-approval process has been in play like that probably since 2015. Same thing every day. But I basically can get people pre-approved in probably about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'm done talking to them. Then they do the application. Then I validate that their income and everything supports the goals that they have. Then I give them their pre-approval, and then they go find a house and contract. And so I am almost down to the point where on average, I spend about 20 minutes or less with my clients. They're fully satisfied, better educated than they're getting at the majority of other loan officers. And then I'm probably in and out of my file and Encompass in about 8 minutes. And you got to learn these things in order to scale.
I'm trying to find that video. How long ago did you say it was?
It should be within the last couple of days.
Last couple of days. Okay, it's a recent video.
It's at. Did you find me on YouTube or no?
Oh yeah, National Mortgage. Oh no, sorry, it was the wrong one.
It's at Coach Anthony MTG. We updated the handle, so it's YouTube at Coach Anthony MTG, abbreviation for mortgage. And then you can probably click on popular and it'll be within the top couple.
Here it is. I found the right channel and popular.
If you go to popular, it's the third video down.
Oh yeah, best pre-approval process. I see it.
That thing is a game changer. I guarantee it.
Gonna...
If that opens your eyes to doing business differently, everything we do here will help you grow your business 100%.
And I'm putting these web addresses in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're all set. I think we're almost out of time. So Coach Anthony, amazing, wonderful information. Once again, what's the Instagram handle?
National Mortgage Coach.
Okay, so you all go to National Mortgage Coach, follow him, DM him. I mean, once again, I'm just blown away.
I appreciate that. You talk to a lot of loan officers too, so that's good feedback.
I've talked to a lot of loan officers, talked to a lot of sales leaders. I've not seen anything like this. This is exciting. This is really exciting, and this is the right way to do the business. Thank you.
Absolutely is. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Thanks everyone. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Coach Anthony.
Thank you.